Over 40 years, Keep Australia Beautiful has and continues to encourage, motivate and celebrate the achievements of regional communities across the nation through its well-recognised, they still call it Tidy Towns Sustainable Communities National Award Program. I've been, as you've just heard, most fortunate to be involved with that program now for 20 years. I've now finished, and it's an experience that's been most rewarding and certainly humbling. What I'd like to do now for around about hopefully 10 minutes is just share with you I suppose some experiences of communities right around the nation that have been on in many cases a challenging pathway to being sustainable. So we'll just sort of travel around the nation and just sort of pop in for just a short visit, and you'll be able to see exactly what these communities have been up to over the past 20 years that I've been involved. First one's Barunga, a little Aboriginal community situated around about 80 kilometres southeast of Katherine. Very hot little community. The Barunga Sports and Cultural Festival is one of Australia's longest running Aboriginal festivals. The festival has developed into one of the most significant celebrations of Aboriginal art, culture, music and sport in the top end. Health and wellbeing is a major focus for most Aboriginal communities, with most linking tidy towns to being healthy. There was another little community, Apatula or Fink you might remember as, cut their Royal Flying Doctor service visits by 70% after they got involved with the Tidy Towns program. So that is significant. To the other end of the scale, we go to Lithgow in New South Wales, about 140 kilometres from Sydney. The iron industry was actually established in Lithgow, which I believe in 1875, when a blast furnace was erected to manufacture pig iron. By 1900, Lithgow had produced the first steel manufactured in Australia. Heritage restoration in Lithgow is of a grand scale, with one community group known as the Defenders of the Derelict being very active in preserving their rich history. If you ever go to Lithgow, they've got every collection known there, with their rifle collection, their huge railway heritage collection, things like that. It's unbelievable. Okay, we're in Tassie now, New Norfolk, which is about 40 kilometres west of Hobart. DFAT, which is, oh sorry, thank you John, we're lost without you. DFAT, the Derwent Valley Youth Future Action Team, is the Council's youth advisory group. It meets regularly to advise Council on youth issues and concerns, and develops activities and projects to engage with young people. Notable success includes the establishment of a portable, legal graffiti wall after consultations with many young people illegally conducting graffiti activities, and the police, obviously. One of the very few legal areas across Australia to undertake legal graffiti. Thought I'd include some schools, quite a few schools, because there's some wonderful school children here still today. Welcome to Rutherglen in Victoria, about 270 kilometres from Melbourne. Rutherglen Primary School believes that it is vital that sustainable practices are in place, as well as educating students about environmental issues. Minimising waste was their initial focus, with waste reduced to landfill by about 90%. St Mary's Rutherglen is one of only 30 schools in Victoria to be awarded as a carbon sink school, which is committed to sustainability and living habitats. They've been able to reduce their carbon emissions by over 40% by being energy wise. The school's environmental student action team call themselves the Frogs, the friendly, resourceful, organised group of sustainable students. Now this is really, really quite appropriate, and hopefully Eugene Ross is still here. Home of the big mandarin, Mundubbera in Queensland, about 200 kilometres west of Bundaberg. It's also recognised as Queensland's citrus capital. After the challenges associated with major flooding of the town and region Australia Day in 2013, we all heard about Bundaberg going underwater, or poor little Bundubbera was metres underwater. The engagement of Blaze Aid by the resilient community successfully contributed towards the recovery of the farming community in multiple ways, helping to rebuild as much spirit as fencing. Estimates of the cost of building 1 kilometre of fencing, I think by the Department of Primary Industries in Queensland, was around about $8,000. That's 1 kilometre. According to this assessment, fences worth over $2 million were constructed throughout the region with Blaze Aid's support. So Blaze Aid goes from one end of the country to the other, and it was, I thought when I saw you here today, Eugene, that had to be recognised and certainly celebrated. Welcome to Waikerie in South Australia. Waikeree's Mallee Sustainable Farming site has been an innovator and groundbreaker in sustainable farming. Many techniques from this site are used extensively by local and interstate farmers. As you've heard today, by the way, Waikeree's environmental education programs are a major focus throughout the town's education system. Schools are strongly focused on programs with innovative approaches to education and develop community partnerships for positive environmental action and outcomes. I've got plenty to share with you. All primary and secondary schools in Waikerie include biodiversity education on an individual school basis, or as you heard today, include partnerships with other schools, council, community groups and service clubs. Welcome to Westonia in WA, located about 300 odd kilometres from Perth. Westonia Shire has implemented a town planning policy so that all new buildings follow the style of the town's street facades project. The project aims to recreate the facade of the main street during the early 1900s gold mining boom, with old buildings being restored and any new building constructed in a style that represents its past. Hence the town's catchphrase, Westonia, more than a facade. Beechworth in Victoria, about 350 kilometres east of Melbourne. I'm just keeping an eye on Alex. Beechworth Secondary College's sustainability features include passive solar design, thermal chimneys, skylights to reduce lighting needs, cross-flow ventilation to assist cooling, double glazed windows, solar pump for hot water service, and rainwater tanks for toilets. Their partnerships were extensive to achieve a facility that is a model for other schools in Victoria and throughout the nation. I see quite a contingent here from Victor Harbour today. Welcome to Victor. We all know where Victor is. Victor Harbour Council facilitated its first mass solar panel refit program in 2009. It resulted in over 1,000 houses fitting solar panels to roofs. This project led to Victor Harbour being recognised by the Clean Energy Council as the third largest concentration of solar panels in the country. Over 3,200 houses have at least a 1.5 kilowatt system in place, with some installing 7.2 kilowatt systems. Energy savings are estimated at around about $280,000 a year, with a corresponding carbon saving of approximately 3,000 tonnes. Absolutely unbelievable. Lockhart in New South Wales, located around about 500 kilometres southwest of Sydney. The Veranda Town represents a living example of the preservation of cultural heritage in the continual enhancement program of its heritage-themed main street. Lockhart is becoming the farm sculpture capital of Australia, with the Spirit of the Land National Farm Art Award. Oh, okay. Ooh. Creative sculptures and artscapes made from recycling of new farm materials provide a friendly and welcome to visitors to the region. I'm under the pump now. Port Hedland in WA's northwest. The Port Hedland community understands how it must respect and preserve its natural heritage with their ongoing turtle monitoring of 2 local flatback turtle rookeries on Headlands foreshore. The program is entirely comprises of youth who dedicate hundreds of hours each year towards the monitoring program. Welcome to Sheffield, around about 30 kilometres from Devonport, the current Australian Tidy Town national holder, I should say. It's known internationally for its collection of public murals which depict the area's rich history. Since about 1986, over 50 murals have been painted around the town, ranging from large-scale professional works to school projects. If anybody's into steam engines, this is the place to go. It's very famous for their annual Steam Fest, which draws around about 30,000 people to the town. And the Historical Preservation Group works very closely with the community to preserve and interpret their very rich heritage. This is a real beauty. This is Woogala or Beswick, situated around about 100 kilometres from Katherine. One of Woogala's major achievements has been the establishment of the community's new tourism accommodation facility, the Pavilion. It was certainly funded with support through the federal government's Get Communities Working program, Chiltern Arts, as well as social and cultural enterprise, which included support from Caritas Australia and Ian Thorpe's Fountain of Youth. Welcome to Mount Gambier. This, by the way, Mount Gambier is Keep Australia Beautiful National's most successful Australian Tidy Towns winner. They've won the national award twice, in '91 and 2005. Their TAFE college in Mount Gambier is really second to none in the nation when it comes to energy efficient technologies. So they've got passive solar features, renewable energy technologies, wind turbines, solar cells, a great example of education for the 21st century. I don't know if anybody's into car collections here, but if you are, Wynyard in Tasmania is where you need to go. The Francis Ransley Ford Veteran Car Collection is situated in their information centre. The display features a collection of veteran motor cars, including a 1903 Model A Ford, one of only 2 in existence, and the equal oldest Ford in the world. Many of the vehicles there are over 100 years old and all fully restored. Armidale in New South Wales, around about 560 kilometres from Sydney. In the city's CBD, many businesses are looking after plantings out the front of their own premises. A couple of community groups are working with council to actually trial veggies in the pots outside their businesses there. And they're very committed to increasing the consumption of local food, and it's an attractive and fun way of promoting Eat Local. Mornington in Victoria, Eugene, probably a drop kick away. Their Eco Living Display Centre is a practical demonstration of a sustainable home. It's also the home to various environmental volunteer groups, and it shows householders how to implement energy and water efficiencies and how to reduce waste as well. Coming close to the end, Alex, not far away. Welcome to Caloundra on Queensland's Sunshine Coast. Effective litter initiatives and good litter management have been basic to the success of the overall protection of the environment in Caloundra. Special problem litter items such as used fishing gear and cigarette butts are individually catered for with specialised, well-designed disposal units, particularly at busy fishing spots and boat ramps. The Bin Tangler project now has been rolled out through South Australia as well, and it started in Queensland. Tichikala, a wonderful little Aboriginal community about 120 kilometres from Alice Springs, nestled in the Simpson Desert. The Tichikala community partners with council, with all sections of the community having a role to play in looking after their town. Tichikala School is an integral element of the community's pride through its educational programs that teach the virtues of litter control, recycling and general health benefits of maintaining a tidy town. And by the way, that's their oval on the bottom right there. A little tufted grass there. When you think you're doing it tough collecting litter perhaps in your communities, just think of Walpole, 430 kilometres south of Perth. As a tourist centre, Walpole faces challenges in servicing over 200,000 visitors a year. Walpole is the first region in the state of WA, and they reckon the nation, to declare itself litter-free, and which applies to roads bisecting over 1 million acres of local wilderness. One local resident has the largest road adoption in the state, and they think nation as well, with over 100 kilometres of roadway that he maintains on a weekly basis for over 9 years now. During that time, he's covered over 42,000 kilometres of road cleaning, equivalent to one circumnavigation of the earth, at an average speed, anybody into statistics, 23 kilometres an hour. Over the past 20 years that I've been involved with the Australian Tidy Towns program, I've been able to share the joy and excitement of a few communities that have achieved national award status. That was Narracourt in 1994, Goolwa, where's Simon, 1999, would you believe, long time ago, and then Mount Gambier in 2005, and as we see here, Victor Harbour in 2013. Which has been a fantastic achievement for all the wonderful communities. So I suppose in closing, I trust you experienced just that little snapshot of how communities we visited today are doing their bit for their local environment on their journey to being sustainable. I certainly wish all the communities here today all the best for the future. We all face some big challenges as we move through as a state and as a nation. And I'd just like to finish by saying, Tidy Towns, sustainable communities, I've used this line quite a few times, more than picking up paper, or litter I should say, painting white picket fences and planting lovely rose gardens. It's a blueprint for sustainable communities across our wonderful nation. Thank you very much.